Well, welcome everybody to Crafty Crows, the 5th of November edition. Very excited for our open micers and for our feature headliner tonight, Stephen Paul Wren. So as is the order of events, I will welcome you all, as I have just done, and tell you the rules, the housekeeping, so that we can all show our appreciation, respect in the appropriate way. So when each poet is performing, please mute, but definitely come off mute and clap and show your appreciation after they've read. That would be really lovely. We've got the chat there for you also to capture your appreciation and things that you like, and it's always lovely to read after you've performed, so feel free to do that. You know this event is being recorded, so please only share poems that you're happy to class as being published. Open mic poets, please keep to your 3-minute slot, and that can be 1 or 2 poems, but 3 minutes, please. And if you would like to, we would love to see your bios, books, events, things that are coming up in the chat. So, you know, we'd love to see what the community is doing and where you're performing, so share away. Remember, the GPS is a volunteer-led society, so if you can spare a donation, it's really valued, or consider joining with a membership. Jason's popped the information in the chat there. Definitely recommend you do that. I get the honour of going first with a poem, and I want to, I don't know, Jason, I asked if I could share screen. Is that okay? Yep. All right. So the recent issue of Steel Jackdaw is out there, and I was really honoured to have one of my poems selected for publication. So I'm going to share it because it's laid out in a really lovely way, and I can't take credit for that because that was Jason's editing and support. So thank you, Jason, for that. And here's the poem. I'm going to share my screen. And it's called List. And it's a dictionary definition poem. So it's after the BritishDictionary.com. You can follow the link there if you want to. List. Noun. A series of names or other items written or printed together in a meaningful grouping or sequence so as to constitute a record, a catalogue of fake news, an inventory of dangerous beliefs, a file to refer to when discriminating, a roll call of names, a register of autistic people, an index of blacklisted neurotypes, examples of the past repeating itself. List. 2. Noun. A border or bordering strip, usually of cloth, a salvage of all you have left in the world. Fillet. A boneless, spineless politician who treats others as slices of meat. One of the ridges or furrows of earth made by a lister. A ridge to be identified, owned and laid claim to, even when it is not your land. List. 3. Noun. A careening or leaning to one side as of a ship, to lean over, especially if full of asylum seekers, to cause to lean over, especially if privileged by birth, leaning over to the side that multiplies only annual worth. List. 4. Verb. Archaic. Old English, Galliston, to please, akin to Gothic luston, to desire. To please, to like or desire, a liking or desire for power, regardless of whether you have the virtues and values that make such a position deserved or merited. List. 5. Verb. Archaic. Middle English. Listen. To listen. List. Lest those who scream history is repeating itself are never heard from again. Thank you. Thank you for publishing that, Jason, and for editing it on the page so beautifully, and thank you for letting me share it. Okie dokie. Well, I always enjoy hearing the open micers, so I'm just going to check who the first one up on the open mic is. I'm not sure if we've got Michael Sindler yet. Didn't join us while we were there, so no. Okay. So next up on my list, anyway, is Jude Marr. Jude, if you are happy to perform, we'd love to hear from you.
I think I can manage that.
Amazing.
Love that one, Kate. That's excellent stuff. Excellent, excellent. Okay, so I didn't want to read anything that was depressing about the state of the world tonight, because actually, as days go, this has not been a bad one for democracy. So I'm going to read a couple of more personal things. The first one is a very short one from my book, We Know Each Other by Our Wounds, which I'm sure everyone has by now if they want it. It's 5 years old yesterday. So, so this is called Vagabond on the Half Shell. None of this is what you predicted. You said I would never leave. You held up a mirror, showed me the version of myself that's inverted, dared me to be. Ocean's my only mirror. I prefer otherness, the invented face. Burlap sacks accommodate misshapen objects. I will be flotsam at ease in my hempen skin. Half shells are broken homes. One shell, spotted like a leopard, shows how two halves have been dragged apart, a fragile part. I carry my unhinged half-self to ocean's edge in a burlap sack. I will always leave. This much is predictable, which is a romantic version of the completely unreliable, not to be counted on person. Okay, and one other, which is one of those odd poems that has been published individually, but probably will never be in a book because it doesn't fit with anything else. It was for a project that was to do with work, and it's called Wages and Other Rewards. I have been waged, as wars are waged, for profit, battling across a restaurant floor, plates balanced, smile balanced, or making jokes with naked stroke survivors as they stepped into the shower on my paid-to-care arm, or scrubbing shit off toilets for city planners, or washing actors' dance belts by hand. I've been salaried, valued as salt is valued, although not by ancient Rome. I have curated books and students, battled legions of administrators, built systems within oppressive systems, all the while believing I could change the world with a flick of my salted tail. I have freelanced through unproofed pages, dreaming of accounts paid on time. I have staggered from stipend to stipend. I have taken checks to the bank and reached under tables for cash. I have crashed but not burned. Never saved enough to ensure a good death. I've kept faith, though, and myself fed, and I have these lines and others more complex.
That was beautiful, Jude. Well, beautiful last line and such wonderful wordplay in that poem. Sad that you can't find somewhere to publish it, but it's gorgeous. And I'm going to message you about something it's made me think about because I love it that much. Thank you. Yes. The next person on our open mic is going to be Richard Harris. So, Richard, I hope you are there and able to take the mic.
I am indeed.
There you go.
I have a new book out which is called The Black Dog Came to Stay. And there's a warning, a content warning, because the whole book is about how myself and my sisters were abused during our childhood. So I'm not, if I'm not right tonight, I've got this inner ear balance, so I'm sorry I'm a bit sort of odd. I have walked around with them today rather like a drunk, and I've had to have a walking stick. But the doctor says it will sort itself out, so let's hope he's telling me the truth. This is, to me, a very special poem, and it's called Spiritophobia. I hate matches. I really hate matches. I hate matches, indeed. Unlit, in or out of a box, I cringe, hate them lit, feel sick if they are dead. I hate matches. I really hate matches. I hate matches, indeed. When they are new, they are red, globular and threatening at the end. Nasty, awful things. Get a lighter, do. I hate matches. I really hate matches. I hate matches indeed. I have no really good memories of my dad. He smoked pipes and cigars. He used matches all the time. I hate matches. I really hate matches. I hate matches indeed. He thought I was not a real boy. I had to hide to read. I went under the bedstead with a torch. I hate matches. I really hate matches. I hate matches indeed. He wanted to man me up, so lit matches and held them to me. Then he put them out on his arms. I hate matches. I really hate matches. I hate matches indeed. It singed the hair on his arms. Very hairy was he. As the flame hit his shelf, hit his flesh, he showed how manly he was. I hate matches. I really hate matches. I hate matches indeed. Then he would bring the flame near me and touch me on my arms. I would scream and run away. I hate matches. I hate matches. I hate matches indeed. When I was 7, I heard him laugh as I ran away. I have no happy memories of my dad. I hate matches. I really hate matches. I hate matches indeed. In later life, anywhere, but mainly in a pub, I would move away from someone lighting up. I hate matches. I really hate matches. I hate matches indeed. I would never have matches in my home, and that lasts to this day. If I'm somewhere where they use them, I move away. I would not sit at a table in a pub if dead matches were there. I would move an ashtray with my eyes closed. I hate matches. I really hate matches. I hate matches indeed. And my 2 sisters, I had 3 sisters. One was murdered when she was 49, which is also covered in the book. And the one that rang me on Saturday morning, having read the entire book, she was aware of most things, but she wasn't aware of that. And she's the family archivist. And she said, Richard, today I've been to my drawer, I've taken every cutting about Dad out, and it's in the bin. And she did a portrait wall with everyone, great Aunt Isabella that we never met, Victorian arts and things. And Dad's come down off that and gone in the bin. So that poem had that effect on her. And it's published by Finn Hall and Like a Blot from the Blue. I'm told it's selling brilliantly. I'll put a QR code, which I
put in the chat, Richard. That would be amazing.
And it's, I love my first 2 books, but they were collections of my poetry. They had comedy, they had all sorts in. No theme, and I desperately wanted this one to go. So I'm just amazed, honoured, and bewildered that Finn has gone with it, and it's fantastic.
Well done. Thank you for sharing.
I hope it's fantastic for those who read it too. Thank you.
Well, your performance there was really moving. Thank you so much. There's some really powerful words in the comments there for you. So thank you for sharing.
Thank you. I'll read them now. I've performed 2 or 3 together occasionally, but I've headlined twice now in the last week.
Yeah.
And I was wasted and in tears by the end of both of the performances.
Well, thank you for reading here. I noticed that we've got Michael Sindler in the room, and I wonder, Michael, would you like to read next? Yeah? Over to you.
Sure, thank you very much. Great to be here as always. I think last time, hold on just a second. Last time I was here, I think I did an Anna Pete form of poetry. And this is another one of those called A Sharper Eye. I lost my wife to God. It was hardly competition. I took it badly, then moved on. In retrospect, I feel contrition. It was what needed to happen. I lost my wife to God. Inevitable from first moment, from time out loud and soft, bridges and translations, something wrong, something right, almost what claim but lesser. I lost my wife to God. Correct decision left despair. Love continues burning. Some things are invincible. Death do you part. Holding fragile history. I lost my wife to God. Light cannot be extinguished. Not what I expected. Retrospect was not available. A sharper eye, an open ear would have seen why I lost my wife to God. And moving on with forum stuff, this is a golden shovel I wrote for Don Van Vliet, better known as Captain Beefheart. And it's taken from the line, "Thank you, Consuela. Good to see another Beefheart fan." Okay, the line is, "Let the devils burn and the beggar learn." And I call this Brownlandia. There are all too many rooms to let in this burned out quarter where the best have rushed home to wash while we play all night with the devils. The wet ash upon our skin cakes but does not burn. Over and above, we make sure marks on concrete and into the putrid sunken wasteland where the battered, bruised, but unperturbed beggar lays out trinkets for us to pick from and learn. And I'm just going to do one more little short recent poem called Hooked. Not a foreign poem. Man with a crutch and a hooked on Jesus tee. I can't help but think, damn, that must have hurt. I'm sitting and waiting for a cardiogram. I'll be hooked up, but hopefully not damned. Okay, thank y'all.
Brilliant poems. Thank you, Michael. Really good. I'm so pleased you could get here. Well, we next have on our open mic, just checking the list. I think it's Ron Bremner. Ron, are you here? Are you ready to go?
Yes, I am. Thank you. Yeah, I also have a new book. It's my 10th published poetry collection, and it's out on Westbury Literary Group. It's called You Who Are the Stranger. And that's taken from a line from a Leonard Cohen song. And the poem I'm going to read was published, if I can find it, 42 years ago in a magazine called International Poetry Review out of the University of North Carolina. It's about my cousin whose death was ruled a suicide, but was really, as we all know, a homicide. It's called A Trial of Language. He and his sister were variable antonyms. Though both counted out their words, only he tried to spell them. She believed no tonic speech, but the loudest of mumbles. Neither realized the climactic impotence of words and time. After the shock of his terse death, she learned the language of gestures. The parents still do not understand. They seek words to trust. We have tried, but cautious eloquence does not fool them. She will not talk to them. She plans to survive. Thank you and have a pleasant day.
Thank you so much, Ron. That's very moving. Thank you. I am looking to see who's in the room, and I think we have Pulowski Moore next. Is that right? I'm just looking for you. There you are. Are you ready to read?
Sure.
Is it my turn?
It is your turn, yes.
Okay. Oh, I thought there were two people ahead of me, so that's why I was.
I don't think they're in the room. That's what I was just.
Oh, okay.
Quick scout
Okay.
round.
Okay. All right. That's why I was confused. I was like, oh, is it me? Okay. I'm just going to share one poem that that was published in Sandcutter's anthology last year. Was actually one of the this is one of their publications where they publish their award-winning poems. And I want to issue first to everyone a content warning because this poem it references slavery, specifically a photograph that was taken um, of a previously enslaved person's back. So there is in there that I just want to give a content warning for some people who may be disturbed by some of the images that may be in there. And the title of the poem is Scars, Gordon's Purged Back, 1863. On his back, my father has a tree. It bears no colorful blooms, just jagged branches, thorns splayed, a thick, cancerous canopy. This keloid lattice of flesh, raised, raised, tells the tale that tore and sold the marred skin of a man. Painful patterns form hieroglyphs, messages most choose not to see. How does a man live, thrive, with fibrous veins wrapping his torso, wrecking, weighing his burdened back? Like troubled ancestors before him, my father survives. He stands stern, resilient, courage defiant the cry, the wanton wrath of the rancid fruits from his poison tree. On his back, my father has a tree. His hands are calloused, cracked from farming field work, harvesting fortune for others. He is impoverished by creeping and cropping, hunger and starving, pulling out of the mud, weary and wasted, while wondering how to see beyond the plow and field. On his back, my father has a tree. Phantom leg irons hobble his ankles. Grape tired, toughened feet. Soldier shadows haunt him. Some shackled, maimed, others burned, deflowered, defamed. Round their neck, those who remained felt the rope tighten, hang them out for all to see, bruised black berries like Papa's tree. In autumn silhouettes, I am pained by his suffering, and all this I will remember as empires fade to ashes at Papa's coal black dusty feet. Thank you.
Thank you, Pulaski. You were right. There are two more poets, but they were on their toes and they've let me know. So thank you for your performance. That was really, really lovely. Okay, so let's go back to the proper running order. I just noticed that Beth, you are next to go, and then Rob. So Beth, are you ready?
Hi, yeah, nice to see everybody. I'll just read two poems that were published, I think, last week in Flight of the Dragonfly, which seems to be a journal that's going to go into hibernation, which is sad. And they're both poems about past relationships, I guess. This one is from sixth form days. It's called Close Too Old for Them. She remembers the two of them at school. Rivalry, inky fingers, cleverness, pencil notes in the margins of books. She thinks about passion, sublimated in conversation, the London Philharmonic, the birth of socialism. Oh, the pride they felt being out together, arm in arm, dressed in clothes too old for them, sipping underage gin in the playhouse foyer. What had it meant? Their endless wrangling, closeted in the common room, all that Mozart, opera, games of chess. She recalls the time she came in late to lessons, ears still weepy from the piercing. How she made a point to tease the queasiness apparent in his eyes each time he glanced at her, made sure to smooth back her hair, display the small wound in her ear like a trophy. She wonders if that was when he knew there was a wildness in her, a recklessness she was ready to rain down unless he confessed what everybody knew. But he could not say how he wanted to kiss her. She could not say how she wanted to be kissed. And this one is called There Was a Pied Wagtail in the Car Park. Was it the summer? Perhaps, although the weather, I think, was kind of pallid, all grey and dampness in between outbursts of sun. Probably it was spring, or the beginning of June, when everything felt hopeful, like there would definitely be places to go to, hills to climb, and rivers that we might meander on. I remember meandering on something, a path, a river, though not the Thames, the Stour most likely, or the Isis even. That would fit. You said, see you soon. I probably agreed we would. That's the sort of thing I would do, isn't it? Even if distracted by a pied wagtail in the car park, by the way they bob about, black and white, the hint of cloud about them. Anyway, we didn't see each other soon, or even again. Thank you.
Gosh, that was quite I've got a melancholy mood as you said that last couple of lines, Beth, and beautiful observations. Okie dokie. So back onto the proper running order, we've got Rob. So Rob, are you available to take the mic?
I am indeed, thank you, Kate. I'm just going to do two poems today, both of them are entitled Disabled. The first one is an acrostic poem. Disenfranchised, disconnected, disappeared, a disappointment to you all, invisible while hidden in public sight, segregated, separated from the rest of society, abilities ignored as people focus on your disabilities, barriers of exclusion built everywhere you look, labeled and listed as useless from the beginning. Education is seen as a waste of time for the likes of them, demonized by politicians and the press as a burden to society. Thank you. Second one again is called Disabled. And this is a tribute to Wilfred Owen, who died on the 4th of November 1918. As was then, so is now. As were there, so are we. Time flies by, yet stays deadly still, like dinosaurs preserved in ice. Can attitude be changed by the passing of years, or will we forever be felt and dealt this way, seen and heard with mixed emotions, not on a balance sheet? It wavers one way then the other, proving our bravest adversaries in history are pity and regret, the timeless enemy of equality and respect. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rob. Always get so much from hearing your poetry. Thank you. We have one last poet before our headliner, and that's Consuelo Marshall. So if you're ready, then we'd love to hear you.
Thank you, Kate. This poem I sent to the stanza competition for the Poetry Society, and it was commended. So here it is. To the fastball of my life. On the porch of the renowned pie bakery, we drink coffee in cardboard cups, gaze over the overgrazed hills consoling this calm valley. Our eyes follow the couple, casually parking their full-loaded electric glide. See them go inside for a piece of pie, something dark to wash it down. We hear a crow as he caws obscenities at the kestrel. Watch him as he dive bombs the killer bird again and then again. The kestrel flees until he is but a fly speck, ostracized by ether. I'm drawn to the parking lot with its horse trailer, its barbed wire fence, the golden underbelly of this valley floor dotted with granite turnips. Fascinated by understudy oaks, they lazily lift their lacy skirts, follow the script of the play. Me, I'm a passenger in your Datsun pickup as we journeyed to your grandmother's cabin in Arnold. About a mile or so from that bar, the place where you began to leave this world. Your new puppy next to you in the seat, a snowbank cradling your truck, your steering wheel, the last darn thing gripped by your hands. I walked back to the porch, coffee cup in my hand, just like nothing happened, like I was inside a 10-second hallucination, a trip back to you, a time when your teeth flashed, your little boy, big boy smile. We climbed back into the bus, back to the road, looping its way through acres of avocado groves. I stare out the window. Search each chromed leaf of those courageous trees. Think how darn lucky I was to have ever met you.
Thank you so much, and congratulations on the recommendation and the beautiful way you just read it there for us. That was incredible. Thank you. Well, folks, we are heading now to the feature for tonight, and I have to say I'm very excited. Being a scientist, a biologist, maybe just a little bit too giddy, not showing it, but I'm going to introduce now Stephen Paul Wren. And he received his PhD in organic chemistry from the University of Cambridge. Stephen launched and developed the Molecules Unlimited poetry community, and this innovative group explores the intersect of poetry and the chemical sciences. He's written many books. Elementar, a collaboration with visual artist Laura Kerr, was published by Pay-Per-View Books in 2024. Formulations was co-written with Dr Miranda Lynn Barnes and was published by Small Press in 2022. And A Celestial Crown of Sonnets, co-written with Dr Sam Illingworth, was published by Penteract Press in 2021. His poem sequence, A Runner's Lament, was published by Ice Floe Press in March 2025. Atomic Bohemian will publish his book Permanence, co-written with Lesley Anne Curwen later in 2025, and Turas Press will publish The Chemistry of Emotion, co-written with Fiona Perry in 2026. That's some publication history. And we're excited about the future publication, but we get to hear him actually perform tonight. So are you ready, Stephen? It's over to you.
Thank you so much, Kate and Jason, for hosting, and thanks to the whole Crafty Crows community. It's wonderful to be here, wonderful to hear your words as well. So I mean, my day job is as an academic chemist. So I teach, run a big research group, and for a long time I tried to kind of describe the world around me with laws, scientific laws and equations and things like that. I wasn't really feeling anything. I've always been a creative writer, so I started to try to describe what I was seeing with words as well. And I think together you can get a fuller picture. So I'm hoping to share with you some of these writings today. The first poem comes from Formulations, the book that Kate mentioned. And I'm going to look at a poem that was inspired by pino-resinol, a compound frequently found in woody and fibrous plants. And therapeutically, you find it in olive oil. And the compound has been linked to low incidences of colon cancer in humans. And this is called Gut Oil Charm, the new Eat, Pray, Love. I think of one infirm, sick tharm, a grand context, a seat, a firm, concern against assault, it shows a germ. I see terrains, a bad upswarm, art form, forearm, a charm, a growth spits out and grates like sand, a large transform. A fate that hooks so death's alarm reports, bled dry, repeats, disarm, a new deform, a spit around a harsh uncharm, reform, a wild and harshly spun conform, preform, gut dells, a scream that screams of cures, a wealth, a damp that works when poured. Inside is life itself, a health, an oil whose reach picks off a filth, an oil that feels with mild cartels. It yells in cells, a silk to mend, a silt rebuilt, a hole that shades the organ from a death, a guild of thrills in time against the accents unkind inside. And see the loams ablaze, superb, and see the airs flowing. Absorb, adsorb, a life, a trance, then look, resorb, concern before dispatches rise. It won't disturb, that slow allure, it won't perturb, usurp, reverb. A harp arranges lots of dreams, escarp the mount, outlooks, the hopes. It plays A sharp, atop a slope, a fiend, a carp, a slurp, a death's eyeglass, the blurb, its orb. And the next poem was published in Marble Broadsheet and kind of follows the same thread of therapeutics or remedies. You know, and some argue that there is a cure for every condition somewhere in the world. This is called Backbone. My Moebius backbone opens in medicinal tea served in African cups, a star roll in a relief play. My body itself grows in oldenlandia plant wombs. Women in the Congo drink, and as I stretch, their childbirth eases. Their contractions rend the still air a little less. This is me impacting other wombs that are not like mine. This is me. The doctors reserve me in their back pockets. They bring me out when signs of distress emerge like balefires. And now the chemistry experiment. Thank you so much for everyone who responded to the call I put out through Jason. And I've got to thank Richard Harris, Jason Conway, Sheila Aldous, Pulowski, Laura Greville, Michael Sindler, Gerald Kells, and Jude Marr for sending me chemicals or elements that you find in the body. I've tried to add them to my flask and I've heated, and this is the result. We do not dissolve. What are the reasons why we stay intact? Is it because of an infrastructure, an exoskeleton, a great barrier of skin, just an unending desert plain? Capture the moods of our mechanistic shells, standing up to pendula of vigilance. Our eyes and brains watch our daily lives. Blood, flesh, then skin. Yet the pressures within stay put. A perfect universe within, a protein cosmos, potassium and sulfur and iron, jiggling enzymes, phosphorus and phosphate batteries, iodine, water, germanium rooms, the smoke and mirrors of lung movement. Imagine that we could self-dissolve. Could the eventual puddle melts hold our consciousness? No. Our portion is to be held in fretwork. Have you seen flowers growing behind a garden fence? I'm going to switch now to an example poem from a collection, The Chemistry of Emotion, that Kate mentioned is to be published next year with Turas Press, with Fiona Perry. And this poem is called Blue. The colour of cries pulls me across drums. This is where epithelia straddle loss and positivity. Tear ducts foam. My head is gridlocked. I dare not move. Staying still makes anguish persist. The colour of cries is blue to my eye. It's comparable to the blue of clear, shifting daytime skies. Rain is coming. My heart's muscular wall is searching for respite. I feel saltpeter. The colour of cries whets new appetites. They emerge out of nowhere. Could they be cravings designed to starve my sadnesses? All my nerve fibres ring with determination. Machines of grief sway. Next, I have a poem from A Runner's Lament, that poem suite published in Ice Floe Press. I'm a keen runner. I run a lot of half marathons, really to raise money for my daughter's fund. More on that later. But and this poem is called The Kingdom of the Two Sicilies. Long before the island of Sicily existed, a spineless kingdom extended south. Another kingdom crept northwards with a craven fear of brigands. I was running, telling myself this challenge was more mental than physical. The two kingdoms met in the middle, hemispheres in geometry. The southwards moving land was my petition for laurels, a bird trying to make its wings appear larger. The land moving north was my lack of peak fitness, manifesting as pain in my arms and chest. Oh, the frustration, the daily job of choosing not to fold. This was the definition of conflict. But would I be able to define a victory? As I approached the finishing line, the two kingdoms merged, two Sicilies, crumpling into a heap. Next, I have a poem from the collection that will be my next one, and it's focusing on memory. I've done lots of research around dementia, for example. And this poem is called Synapse Graveyard. You watched The Fly at the movies back in '58 and ran through the coal black. You were sucked out of the graveyard, shrieking in time with your mother. You were seeking a journey home, away from hostile stone and the frights that the righteous cannot clone. You laugh by street lamps, speckles in the night, each one like a luminous runway light. Between Mum sharing the story with me and now, the information, stimulus, was converted to molecules, the bases of my memories. Like muscle memories, I want to hold that night in my hands, keep it safe, like new chemical bonds. I don't want the night to die in a dark graveyard. Hopefully my synapses have grown big enough. We all like to invent words as poets, perhaps. And this poem features a word I made up, which is good fun. Stagnosome is an invented word. The suffix "some" can correspond to a part of a word meaning the body, from modern Latin or even Greek, soma. And I've used the prefix "stagna" to refer to this notion of stagnation. And in biology, Kate will know this, the inflammasomes are examples of this type of word. They are innate immune system receptors, so they can bind other molecules, and sensors, so they can take part in a whole range of cell signaling events. So this poem, The Stagnosomes, was published by David Caddy in Tears in the Fence. The Stagnosomes. Hitting glass ceilings made of granite, digesting books without reading them, the men and women of sacrifice hold their heads up below parapets. Thinking life does not flow easily, I feel their spirits as they flatten, behind imperceptible glassware that shimmers between the morning light and the air they breathe, the air that flows. Their slow growth is a cutthroat mirage. They cannot recognize my pitches. I am shouting, refracting, squeezing milliliters of old wisdom light into the open boat of my dreams. Throw off your yokes, rip out stagnosomes, the organs that crush, rotting your life. Ointments of myth wet into treatments. Rub them onto your eyes. They can cure your blindness. Stamp on the stagnosomes. Feeling alive because of new blood. Reading books and understanding them. The men and women of sacrifice. Gaze ahead and do not miss a thing. A poem about nature, again, Chaparrals of Evergreen. This one appeared in 14 magazine. In chaparrals of evergreen, irrigated by comprehension's channel, holly leaf, cherry tooth leaves shone their light on all the methodology for saving lives. White flowers were medical symbols for the sick. Their colour was near bleakness compared to purple-black fruit. That flesh was kindness of the spontaneous sort. The best sort? The permanence of such shrubbery reflected the preserving of souls, salvation with steadfast songs. Next, I have a poem from Permanence, which comes out later this year with Atomic Bohemian, that I wrote with Lesley Curwen. And we were interested in and worried by the threat of microplastics, the harmful effects on life and the environment. And this is a poem from that book called A Drop in a Micro Ocean. Add a splash of homicide to water, call it the diseased sea. Fish pressed to a globule's border, distorted by polymer cords. Architectures of repeat mobs shoved into fathoms of water. Futuristic cities in glass, monorails of monomeric carriages throw electric hands around crabs, throw them onto rails. Rails that are too hot for breathing, gills and gills stifled like slam doors. Add a splash of homicide to water, call it the diseased sea. And I'd like to finish with two poems from my newest book, Blood Women, that actually is published later this month with Penteract Press. And this is a love story, really, about women who have been close to me in my life, and other women too, through the lens of blood, perhaps the most amazing substance of them all, right? The first one I'll read from this book is called Arc. We gazed at the stairs. We were in the arc. Stress charged the outer rims of my body. Rushes of blood were checked by excitement. My two daughters ran up the final few steps. Their phones spun into concentricity. On top, cityscape photos were taken. Lights, shadows, and minutiae time-lapsed. When they took selfies, I fought vertigo. The girls flocked with the birds, safari souls. I descended to a lower deck, wrapped. We paraded down the Champs-Élysées in a dream, as if we were royalty. Somewhere in my blood, I felt the truth speak. We were just like all the other tourists, And I'll finish from another poem from Blood Women, The Light of Day. And this was really written for my late daughter, Victoria, who was a medical student, but she lost her life suddenly, age 20, 3 years ago. The Light of Day hums, an imperfect register. My daughter's music, her presence, plays in her yellow room. My mind still hears the rush of excitement before her birth. So many jobs, walls to paint with sun. I recall the art sleeve, head near hot light bulb, my Eiffel Tower step ladder, brushed light. She does not see my tears as I leave the house. The family splits. Now she is gone. She waits for me through the crystals of heaven, sits by a still shore. A lake sleeps. Her log cabin's walls are yellow, reflections from her face of sun. Thank you so much, everyone.
Utterly amazing, Stephen. I've been transfixed. I would love everybody to come off mute and show their appreciation for that stunning feature set of poems. Thank you. Brilliant. Well done.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Amazing. You see, everyone's been transfixed. They've saved their words until the very end. We've all been engrossed. I wrote a little phrase for you. There were so many micro delights in this chemical universe you just shared with us. It was beautiful. We're going to take a short break, folks. 5 minutes, which should give us all enough time to get refreshed and come back, so we have time for our second half open mics. Please take a break.
Hi, Alan.
Hello, sorry,
That's all right. Glad you can make it.
Hello, hello.
Hi, can I just check if you can hear me?
We can.
Yeah. Oh, fabulous. I've spent most of the time trying to make sure to mute myself in my settings, so that's great.
Very clear. That's really
good.
Nice.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm just going to put some open mics that I'm hosting in the chat here because I won't get a chance to when we... Oh, sorry. I think I've just sent them to Rick. Send them to here for you all. There you go. Right, so welcome back. I want to make sure everyone's back in the room, so I'll just do a little bit of chat while you all get back here. I'm just going to check and see if we've got any announcements to make. We usually have. Wow, it says TBC, Jason, so that's intriguing. What does that mean?
To be confirmed.
Okay, well, December, you'll just have to wait and see. Anyway, so welcome back, everybody. The second half, Jason's popped the running order in the chat. I will try and make sure I follow it this time. And I was thinking, well, how do I follow that? How do I follow that amazing feature that we've just had? And I thought, well, I won't try. I'll just read something. I'll just read something that is reflective of the day I've had. So I have just been at a conference. I am an HR person. I work in the world of HR, and I thought you might like this poem, which is about all my first jobs. I've had a few. It's all my first jobs. A volunteer at the RSPCA, unpaid, mostly shoveling shit and marvelling at the colours. A volunteer at the Geology Museum, unpaid, mostly unpacking crumbling rocks in rotting boxes. A locker room assistant at an unheated outdoor swimming pool, mostly paid for shivering whilst reading. A box office assistant at the Palace Theatre, mostly paid for stuffing envelopes. An evening receptionist for adult evening classes, mostly paid for smiling sweetly. A practical assistant for degree students, mostly paid for refocusing microscopes. A staff development administrator for a local college, mostly paid for hacking the computer. And then HR advisor for a corporate, mostly paid as a messenger to shoot between unions and management. And then finding a knack for listening to the underlying needs of people, finding the beauty in business and meaning in the mundane. Yeah, I had a lot of first jobs before I decided what I wanted to do, and then carried on becoming a poet. Thank you, everybody. Well, I'm very excited. We have a packed second half, so we need to get on with it. And we have first up on the open mic, it's Ed Poetastic. Ed, are you ready?
Yep, I am ready. Thank you so much for having me here. And again, thank you so much, Jason, for the invite. Thank you. I can't thank you all enough. Hello, I'm sorry. The sun is in my eye. Hello, everyone. My name is Ed Potastic, Home Fin and Fantastic. Please, in time, go join my rhyme. Five foot sublime. I got one poem, so I won't take too much time. The first poem is called The Inner Child. My hands are tiny, but I'm still lively. I'm just a kid. My age only slid. We are still a kid. I'm sorry, we are all still a child. Imagination runs wild. Don't hide your curiosity in this pale, dark reality. I know we're all adults. Don't just stand at a halt. We are not our parents. We are not mindless ants. No anger, no offense. But don't build a fence. I know the chains of responsibility, but that doesn't have to be reality. If you want to write, then write. Grab your pen and ferociously fight. If you want to draw, then draw. Draw till your fingers are raw. If you want to paint, then paint. Paint till you tire or faint. If you want to dance, then dance. Dance till you catch a glance. You want to sing, then sing. Sing till you awaken spring. If you want to mold, then mold. Shape it till it turns to gold. Don't call it crazy or ridiculous. It's the miracle of beautifulness. Feed your inner child. Feed it for miles upon miles. That kid still lives inside of you. Don't be blue, but create your breakthrough. A tiny seed can grow into a tree. Free the child inside you and me. Thank you.
Woo, woo, woo. We love your rhymes.
I rhyme all the time, make you feel sublime.
Amazing. Okie dokie. I'm sure we're going to get some more. I did there with Rick Spizak. You're up next.
Thank you so much. I would love to share two of them. They're reasonably short. I have to say thank you for the science poems. I love science poems, and of course I had to change my set. So here we go. This is called the Brontoineversaurus. It seems that what we've been calling brontosauruses for some time are really just teenage diplodocuses. And when I heard that, it was one thing to be extinct, right? But to be robbed, even of extinction, I thought that was terrible. So here we go. The Brontoineversaurus. Oh, Bronto, so sorry, Saurus. Not once, but twice. Removed from us. Not relinquished to museum rust. Not languished, piano weary neath a veil of dust. Must while away the hours you trust. For far away from us you twice. It isn't really very. Not only do you no longer live, not now, in even that slim aware must give no live, because they said you never did, not even once did breathing live. Deuce duncing life, not ever child, not ever wife, reclaimed once it seemed from ancient mire, now so short in hours retire. Twitch tossed, great long-tailed beast, 500 tons, weaving through our imaginations your lumberings come. We thought you dumb. We saw you 10 elephants long, but we never thought you hadn't come. 'Twas said, twixt head and tail, a bristly bundle of fibrous fun, you drove 2 brains instead of 1. You cheated death. You cheated grave. You never even really came. A mis-ID'd they now are knowing, heard from scientific newscast crowing. Now they know, now seem saying, those in whose minds you once seemed plain, a slowly moving mountain of mistake. You didn't nuzzle the reeds at the lake. You never puzzled at volcanic passion. You didn't stumble through the marshy morning, and whilst midst munching grasses muffle yawning. You didn't hug the sunlight's strength. You never stretched your tail its length. If you live, lusty, longer, in the mind of those to whom the thought of Bronto comes, small pleasure this, then take it comes. You're honored here. If ever, future, number, ancient fossils done. So here we go. And then this one, if I have the time for a second one, you may have heard of the terrible attack on these villainous ice people, and somebody threw a sandwich, and they tried to charge him with a felony, but it's now a misdemeanor, so they're going to court and parading. He's charged with a misdemeanor throwing of a sub sandwich. So this is called the sandwich case. The tossed sandwich case. The felonious assault has been rejected with the acquiescence of empowering panels. The Justice Department, with its great gray face. The dangerous sandwich has been tested. The chefs everywhere admit they've sure been bested. A salad with a sandwich on a pseudo-Kaiser roll. To some, you know, the gutsy kind with olives, pickles, tomatoes, if that's your goal. But some may claim it's a special sauce that raises this up to a misdemeanor. You should have seen the cleaners. No, I say it's the olive bits that could have been clearer or cleaner were they undressed. But some wield mighty power, sure, that's same as chalk as pen, and turn to cold cuts takes guts, but won't ever pretend that kind of violence with its special sauce is just the flying confirmation of the brutal attack. I may suggest that lacking ginger ale and chips, why, it's a disgraceful case, and it crumbles in the glitter gutter. And therefore, we've called the sandwich board. Bread or rolls, please, let us have more. The state police and federales have come. They've stayed to investigate and get their jollies. But what we have is little more than a tossed salad on a Kaiser roll. And since I've tasted several in and out of flight, they're downright treacherous. I'll have 2 each night. A brutal mayhem has been alleged. In a felony charge, the jury demurred. well beyond, some say, well, over the edge. Murals lauding this revolutionary confectionery have appeared overnight. It's so goddamn incendiary, demanding the dropping of all charges, and still to this the rabid prosecutor claims the villainy has so enlarged they're simply told, hey, get a life, go home, visit the wife. An example, they say, of deep state power, this sandwich thrower enriched by Baker Flour, who has immediately detained. It seems his liberal brain could not contain the insurrectionist rebellion. And so clanged and so restrained. He felt it wasn't enough to say, these would-be Nazis from ICE, they shouldn't stay. They should at the very least go away.
What energy. I've got a refrain for you, Rick. I love dinosaur biology. So junior Triceratops suffered the same fate as the Do You Think They Saw Us Brontosaurus. The juveniles had no frill, so many dinosaurs extinctified and their existence denied. So yes.
Thank you, Kate.
There were lots of, yeah, hats off to you. Okie dokie. We are rocketing through the second half, and we are excited to have Marietta Maglass up next, if you're ready.
Hello.
Hello.
I want to share. It is about, I chose this poem because it is about cosmic biochemistry. It is published in Dashboard Horus. So, second. Okay. Green prose poem. A verdant comet gliding past our Earth is a magnificent mass of ice. It harbors water and glycine. This celestial wanderer is nothing like any iceberg found at the poles, which takes on a green hue under the sun's embrace. Imagine the hot sunbeams transforming into vibrant colors within a frigid atmosphere. A comet is icy, its tail rich with glycine, yet devoid of proteins and laced with cyanide, chains that maintain its balance. This ice means H2O and can flow through all and through the beings that live in herbage. In the world of sunlight, photosynthesis, this seismic earth fractures repeatedly. However, its folks still possess the chance to witness the green aurora adorning the foliage in Hawaii. Do you think it is far-fetched? Really, auroras can make their way to this island, which is nothing like Iceland. A tint of green splashed on the canvas, likely by Van Gogh, contrasting with Gauguin's purple, temperature and chemistry. My mother told me about the tree xylem that produces sap. I still drink birch water, blood to heat, to course through the veins, bubbles with life and whirlpools of emotions, sometimes sweat in the heat of passion, other times tears of sorrow. Imagine the ethereal water raining from the tail of a comet at the fateful contact with a searing planet. After countless ages of existence, this water resembles the blood droplets that descend from the injured birds, which continue to soar valiantly towards freedom. Does a comet rich in cyanides possess blood-red iron? I do not believe so. Any shattered comet ceases to exist. We are nothing like these icy comets, even though both glycine and water are integral components of our existence. Our essence is plasmatic and universal. with the iron-rich blood representing our vitality. This iron is nothing like that one coursing through the core of smelting furnaces. All things undergo transformation, whether through burning or freezing. A vein propels the blood plasma through our arteries and veins. Cosmic osmosis, rhythmic vibrations like pep and punch. There is a longing for a peaceful evolution, a peace akin to that found in Antarctica, a land weeping with crimson cascades and penguins, allowing aurora to dance with the frozen oxygen. Hues of red, refracted, reflected, and parallel. A cosmic force nudges this aurora towards Hawaii. When the cascading waterfalls radiate light, the looking eyes are filled with luminosity. Why is it that no person is able to stare at the secreting sun for a prolonged duration? We are energy absorbers. When we breathe, we are fed with this oxygen infused with sunlight. When oxygen is scarce, we still breathe to exist, and we are akin to the leaves that dance in the tempest, or the panthers that dash forward, or the insatiable sharks that breach the surface of the seas. Pairs of oxygen enter life to expel spent carbon no longer needed. Imagine a world filled with worn-out carbons, lifeless and barren. Imagine inhaling in a sealed room devoid of plants, where the air never changes. Imagine a planet painted in shades of blood, saturated with useless carbon, a planet like Mars. Imagine huge fires, flames that return to the cosmos. Imagine phoenixes rising anew from their own ashes. Imagine yourself transformed into cosmic dust once more. Thank you for listening.
An absolute delight. The biologist is sitting here. My ears are happy and so is my heart. Thank you so much. Wonderful scientific poetry. Thank you. Amazing. Right. So next on our open mic, we have Suzanne West. Suzanne, are you ready?
Yeah, she's not able to join us tonight. So.
Oh, no. So she's not ready. Next time. Is Lou Clements ready?
Yes. Can you hear me okay?
Lovely. Yes.
Good. So now for something completely different. Nothing chemical here. So I recently took a show to the Edinburgh Fringe this year, which was both a life-affirming and brutal experience. Met some amazing people, had a fantastic time. I'm sure you can imagine filling 50 minutes with my poetry was quite a challenge, but it worked. So this is one of the poems I read there, and the second one is one that I wrote inspired by my experience. So this one is called I Found God Behind the Sofa. So a friend of mine found God recently, and as an atheist, so I'll start again. A friend of mine found God recently, rather abruptly, which was a surprise to him. And as an atheist, it got me thinking, where is God to be found? So this is called I Found God Behind the Sofa. I found God behind the sofa. He must have been there for a while. It's not until I yanked him out that he gave the warmest smile. It must be God, I'm sure of it. He wasn't there before. But when I got down on my hands and knees, I found what I've been searching for. Should I keep him to myself or share him with my friends? I suppose it doesn't matter. You'll get to see him in the end. Could you be my alter ego or the parental love I never had? I suppose it's not important if he sorts my good bits from my bad. Whatever God's components are, they fit with me a treat. Who knew he'd been there all along, just underneath my seat? I'm feeling so much better because I now know why I'm here, and all those unanswered questions were just inches from my rear. I suppose it doesn't matter if no one understands. It's a tricky concept to be grasped by unenlightened hands. But I'm feeling so much happier and the world's a kinder place. Now I found behind the sofa someone to fill my space. There you go. So this next one is a very difficult subject matter, but I was walking around Edinburgh handing out flyers, and I got talking to a couple of ladies, and one of them asked me if I'd ever written a poem about suicide, which I hadn't. And she was a grievance counsellor, and I asked her if she'd been impacted by suicide, and she said that she lost her son when he was 24. And she asked me if I'd write her a poem. And I said I would, and I asked her what her son's name was, and it was Craig. And this poem is called Lost. I lost you when you were 3. I let go of your tiny hand. I'd stopped to help a stranger. You'd gone when I turned around. Just one frantic moment passed till I grabbed you by your arm, pulling you safely to me, a heartbeat away from harm. I lost you when you were 6. I said, I'll meet you at the gate. It only happened once. I vowed I'd never again be late. I saw your lip was trembling. Your teacher soothed. It's okay. Here's your mam. My heart was in my mouth. You were so brave, my little man. I lost you when you were 12 and told me that your phone had died. I said, you can tell me anything because I knew that you had lied. Your cheeks flushed with guilt. I said, surely you must know that I'm going to worry if you're not where you said you'd go. I lost you when you were 15 to the music in your head. You drowned me out with bass and drums and made a mosh pit of your bed. I lost you when you were 19. I'll be back later, Mum, you said. But you didn't come home, did you? You'd not slept in your bed. I lost you to Alice when you were 21. You didn't know that love was blind. You can't see it when you're young. I didn't know that you were lost when you were 23. I'd have done anything I could if you confided then in me. I didn't know that sadness had washed you up upon its shore. You lost the battle with your soul when you were 24. I lost all hope and reason. Then I found you deep here in my heart, and with it some peace, knowing that we will never be apart. If I can help just one lost soul, I'll tell them all about you, Craig, and that you were a lion and that no one was more brave. There we go.
Thank you, Lou. Gosh, very moved by your words there. Thank you very much. What a range
That was
of...
very brave, I thought.
Yeah. Yes. A lovely range of poetry tonight. Thank you. I'm looking to see, Sheila, are you available? Are you ready to go next?
Good evening. How are you, Kate?
Very well, thank you.
It's been wonderful to listen to such a brilliant range of poetry, I must say. Such different ones. I feel quite humble, really good, very good. I have a new website that somebody might want to look up, Shining River Poetry. It's just brand new, and any comments would be welcome on what I've put up there. So I have 2 poems, one slightly longer and one fairly short. Dartmoor Water. The canvas overhead is yet to be washed with grey. We catch our breath after the climb, sit on peaty blankets. In a blur, you hurry to the river edge. Dip your toes into the cleansing rush. A family of cygnets turn into the shallows, startled at your meddling. A flash of kingfisher blue dives unfazed. And the swim below scuttles too late, as they are dive-bombed in the plunge, and the bird feeds. You rise recreated from the chaos, shake the towel, refreshed, hungry, ready for the feast. Sprays of lemon waft as you move the ground, and you trawl me with your certain eye. The shutter clicks at the beginning of a smile, and I have you up close. I abandon myself to the mossy mound as your fingers brush the inside of my wrist, and I am the quartz in the stones as the river's urgency takes over me. The ripples crisscrossing my waves, cool my heat, consume the day, tickle the sides, wear down the resistance till all it can do is give in. And I feel the water giggling, and I want more as it slips chortling over Devon rocks. Thank you. My next one is a completely different tone. It's called A Dream of Light. And it's quite short, actually. And it's still relevant. I did write this a couple of years ago, so it's still relevant, sadly. A Dream of Light. The night sky in this post-midsummer is the colour of Ukraine, not the gore-red streaks of veins and flesh, the blackened limbs of trees, not the grey ash of death caked in the thick grey-brown of shelled dust. It is the rich cerulean sky on a summer evening, the gold of sunflowers warming in the sun, the purple hills lit by 1,000 lights, wrapping the blue and yellow of a flag held high around its people. And beneath all this is the loam of green earth, lying in wait for the colour of peace, for the moon to become full of light again. Thank you.
Oh, you made me smile with those poems. We all love the word chortling. I think there should be more poems.
Thank
beautiful.
You.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okie dokie. Gerald, you're next on the open mic. Are you ready?
Yeah, chortling, invented by Lewis Carroll, the word. Okay. And if you meet him on the bus, remember he's now one of us. Previously, you'd tip your hat, but now we'll have none of that. Just sneer, then look away and quietly go on your way. I called that poem Andrew. I don't know why. This poem is called a little Lake District one, because I'm up here. Loweswater Fell. It wasn't high enough for the man in the pub, bagging 2,000 feet peaks. It wasn't wild enough for the rock climbers with ropes on the sheer Langdale pikes. It wasn't famous enough for the couple first time up who hadn't done Scarfell or Helvellyn yet. And it wasn't close enough to a lake for the family eyeing cat bells, children scrambling into a hatchback car. But for us, on the 77 bus, it was the perfect fell for a solitary stroll, occasionally broken by hazier, higher peaks. That's a little one. And they're short. I'll just do one more. Now, I have noticed on some of these Zooms, and even on live poetry events, that there are quite a lot of left-wing tolerant poems going around. So I am going to balance that out with this poem, which is called X Marks the Spot. I've never met a man like you, so strong and bold and true. There's so much about you I wish that I could do. Stamping down on immigrants, blaming refugees, watching little children crying on their knees, sending guns to far-off wars to blow the place to bits, calling your opponents losers, creeps and shits, covering your crimes with lies so nothing ever sticks, building up a wall of hate with red and blood-stained bricks, sitting on your emperor's throne vindictive as a child, pretending you're an angel, that you're all things meek and mild, bringing down the government, smashing the rule of law, judges, lawyers, humanitarians. What do we need them for? Turning up the volume till there's riots on the streets, gloating as the sycophants bow down at your feet, making sure that nobody gets anything for free, screwing all the little folks, and even screwing me. No, I've never met a man like you, so strong and bold and true. And when I get to the ballot box, I know what I will do. Yes, when I'm in the ballot box, I know what I will do, for though you make me poor as hell, I love you through and through. That's for anybody voting for Farage and his mate. Thank you very much. That's me.
Well, you've redressed the balance there, Gerald.
It needed to be done.
It wasn't tongue-in-cheek at all. Amazing. Okie dokie. Cathal, you're up next on the open mic. Are you ready to go?
Oh, okay. Good evening to you, and thank you for the MCing tonight, and to Jason as well, and to everybody here who has read. I tend not to dip in an awful lot and to spend my time listening. So thank you everybody for reading. I appreciate it, and I look forward to anybody's reading after me. I thought what I might do is give you a quick little poem, just a one, and it's considering the time of year that's in it, particularly since we're coming to Remembrance Day. I thought I might read a poem in memory of my granduncle. So it's called "Without a Striving Time." Striving is the act of the final blessing and with ointment that happens in the Catholic Church when you die. And a lot of these men didn't have that privilege, obviously. So it's called "Without a Striving Time." For Private Arthur Trainer, 26030, B Company, 2nd Battalion, Royal Enniskillen Fusiliers, missing KIA 27th of the 11th, 1917, Flanders, aged 23. That din, that numbing din, civilization has been ripped away. Dirt falls down like raining sin. See, not look. Listen, not hear. Tongue thickens, dry mouth. The bitter chill of a November's night clear cuts to the bone. A shell hole, water wet, coal clarted, clay clotted like stone. Your rifle is held close like a clenched prayer, a talisman as shells fly. Hell's daughters, corpse rippers, Valkyries gathering in the dead and waiting for those marked to die. You do not hear the shell that kills you, sending you to the blue of eternal night, circled by stars, without a striving time. So there you have it. Back to you, Kate, and back to everybody, and thanks for a great night. Take care.
Amazing. Thank you for that. It was an incredible reading. Thank you. And we have 2 open micers left, and I am really excited to hear their voices as well. Next up on the open mic, we have Susie Aspel. You ready, Susie?
I'm ready. Thanks, everybody. Great evening. Thank you for hosting, Kate and Jason, for inviting me. It's been wonderful listening to you all. I've got 3 very short poems. The first one is in honour of the 3 democratic wins yesterday. It's called New Peculiar Patterns. Inside observatories battered by Arctic wind are lines and lines of statistics, measurements, temperatures, the melting, the shifting, the rising. On the surface of Earth, scientists grapple, calculate, present. Beneath the surface of Earth, bank accounts shift, change country. Acting politicians step from pockets, take places on podiums and spout. Words of old, processes of old, uphold the old. Inside Earth, old is changing. Statistics tell of new peculiar patterns. And then this one is much lighter. It's to remind you of being in sunshine on holiday. It's called Coffee on a Terrace, Balustrade Shadows and Clapping. Feet twirling, dancing, stamping, a market square party, and life's a stall of tumbling spices. A circle of bells snaking round corners, bumping into shadows, blowing away ghosts. Laughter, a genie lamp, squaring circle upon circle. Lemon bells, cinnamon, wood smoke, cups of sweet tea, bartering with carpet sellers in Kathmandu. Monkeys peeping from no-pane windows, flags fluttering as prayer wheels spin. And a final one. So some of you have heard this before. Sorry, I'm going to finish with this one. Reading with music. Murakami lifts you off the page. Mielville bludgeons you. McEwen dissects you. Atwood draws you in. Ozeki speaks your language. The words Laura Mvulu crafts from tunes Nina sang sound so true. You die when you listen to Dylan, only to rise again when you hear Carole King sing. And on that note, that's me for this evening. Thank you.
No, it was beautiful, Susie. Thank you. What a variety in those 3 poems.
Thank you.
Lovely. Oh, I wish we had more poets. However, we've got Sarfraz to bring us home, and so over to you.
Thank you, Kate. I've just want to say I've had a great evening of poetry. I think I've missed it. I've missed poetry for a while, so this has been so brilliant. I've got some news to tell, which is always nice. I've got a new book, which is there. There it is. Can you see that, guys? Called Outrageous Children's Poems. Just very quickly, and I won't go on about it, but it's due to be released in December, but it is actually on Amazon at the moment. I'll send you the link, but it's crazy Spike Milligan type, Roger McGough type poems, and it's inspired by all the children around me. In fact, they told me, they said, "Oh, please, can you write me a book about poetry? And we want this in it, we want that in it." So it's exciting. I'm on the radio on Friday promoting it. So yeah, exciting times. Okay, so I'm not going to read from that because the audience is slightly different. I'm going to read from this. There's a picture of me, and it's called Early Works. Early Works Volume 4. I feel like I'm about 100 years old when I pick one of these up. Early Works of Sarfraz Ahmed. So I've got three poems, not too long, and I won't keep you too long. And the first one's called My Sell By Date. My sell by date has long ago expired. I should have retired long ago, left this world to give others a try. For I do not know if I'm that kind of guy. I don't know why I'm still here. I watch others around me disappear. They all left me for pastures new, left me on the shelf with a sell-by date, left me alone, sealed my fate. Thank you. Bit sad, but thank you. That's called My Sell-by Date. And the next one is called Glasgow Kiss. And interesting about this poem is I am involved in a lot of things in America, and they didn't know what on earth a Glasgow Kiss was. They said to me, "Sarfraz, can you do like an author's note at the end to explain what a Glasgow Kiss is?" Does everyone know what a Glasgow Kiss is? Yeah, okay. I'm going to read it. I'm going to read what a Glasgow Kiss is. And for those US people listening, I'll give you a bit of an explanation. All I can remember, just for 1 second, my life was in sheer bliss, surrounded by the warmth, soaked by the kiss. But I soon felt the pain, left lying in the pavement in the rain. In a state like this, a victim of love, no, a victim of the Glasgow Kiss. Now my heart is full of hurt and pain as I drove out the city. I was determined not to go back again. For once, Glasgow looked beautiful, so lush, so green, a truly incredible scene. Now it looks just like any other city, full of loneliness and pity, like tea and soggy biscuits, snaking dole queues, recreational drug use, rained, washed out days, never-ending Sundays. Sometimes in life, your eyes will see what it wants to see. It guises you from the truth, from reality. Thank you. Now, for the Americans in the audience and anyone else that's not from the UK, a Glasgow Kiss is when someone comes and punches you on the face. So yeah, so that's when I went. Well, actually, it didn't happen to me. It happened to a friend of mine who unfortunately got into a fight in Scotland, in Glasgow, and he got the Glasgow kiss. And that's for something. Luckily, I didn't get it, so that was good.
Pleased that he didn't.
He didn't get it. No, I've got one more. And some of you, if you read my bio, I have known to be called the romantic poet. So yeah, I have been known to call the romantic poet. And I'm just going to read the last one, which is a romantic one on bonfire night. And this was called Memories of You. I see her in crowded rooms, in hundreds of places, in the faces of strangers. Tastes, tantalizes and teases, puts a smile upon my face and pleases. It opens up my senses, makes them overflow, takes me to places where I've always wanted to go. Memories spill out in front of me, in between all the tears. And after all these years, memories of you, my love, are still here. Thank you. Thank you for listening.
Oh, gorgeous stuff, Sarfraz. Thank you so much. And what great news.
Someone said in the chat that the Glasgow kiss is a bot. It's a head bot.
It's a headbutt, not
yes, you're right. It is a headbutt. Sorry. Yes. I thought it was a knuckle thing, but it's a headbutt.
Yes. We need accuracy. It's scientific. This.
Yeah, sorry. I thought it was this. I thought it was that. Thank you.
It's a headbutt, as in head to head, give you a kiss.
Yeah, it's a headbutt. Sorry. I thought it
Don't
was
worry.
this.
You are forgiven. Your poetry was beautiful. We are in for a treat. We're going to Jason is going to be our final poet. I've managed to encourage him to read a poem for us. So Jason, please take the mic.
Thank you for bending my arm, Kate. Thank you. What an amazing night. Really inspirational. Thanks for a stunning set, Stephen. This is about loss, but it's melancholy looking back on my life. So it's called A Life in Stitches, and it's got some Potteries dialect. Ag, will you put the kettle on, love? Dad would always say to Mum in the kitchen. Eh? What did your last bloody slave die of? She'd always launch right back at him. This was the comic stuff of my childhood, chock full to brim of working class gabs, 70s kitsch and 80s loads of wads, and what seemed an endless stream of laughs. When I left the cuckoo roost for uni, I had to make friends and fend for me sen, but I'd always miss what they had for tea. Lobby, dripping, ooh, and oatcake heaven. When Dad left a concrete slab on me chest, brother broke down and Mum went in care, I stitched the good and snipped the rest to keep me warm, but I still feel the tears. Thank you.
Oh, I'm so pleased you did that. Thank you.
Jason, I went to university in Stoke. So I was there and I know all about Stoke, and I've got relatives there. So yeah, brilliant. I love it. I love the oatcakes.
They're the best.
They're the best. They are the best if you could get them. Brilliant. Lovely poem, mate.
Thanks so much.
Okie doke, folks. We have come to the end of November's edition of Crafty Crows. I just wanted to thank all poets for your amazing performances and words. It's been delightful. And again, a big thank you to Stephen Paul Wren for your feature, which was fantastic. I have just found a tiny little summing up poem for you that I think fits the mood of tonight. And it goes like this. All I need is the air that I breathe to turn oxygen into ATP, the essential chemical of energy, the currency of our cells, or failing that, an evening of poetry at the Gloucestershire Poetry Society. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much, Kate. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Kate.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks,
everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Kate. Thank you, Jason.
Take care.
Take care. See you later.
Bye, everybody.
See you
later.
See you in
Everybody.
December.
Bye.
Bye.
When we don't know what will happen, but let's be excited. December will be fun too.
December.
Watch out for the newsletter.
Yes, that's the place to look. Don't forget to buy Steel Jackdaw.
Yes.
Yes, it's just out. Yeah.
Take care, everybody.
Take care.
Bye bye. Bye bye.
Thank you.